For those of us on YouTube who just started this episode, the intro was missed due to a recording issue in the studio. So what you've missed so far essentially is us welcoming you in, and we're talking about the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Yeah, so I can go ahead and restart just for everybody that wasn't here. So yeah, World Series is here. It'll start Friday, October 25th at 5:08 p.m. It is between the New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers. 4 games will be in Los Angeles, 3 will be in New York. I'll talk about the Dodgers first. The Dodgers were 98 and 64 in the regular season. In the postseason, they defeated the Padres 3-2 in the NLDS, defeated the Mets 4-2 in the NLCS, and along with that, pitched 4 shutouts in the postseason.
That's insane.
3 of them were 8 runs or more that they scored, while also pitching no earned runs.
Mariners. It's almost like it's a good idea to pay the people. Maybe we'd win a World Series.
All right. Next up, New York Yankees. 94 and 68 in the regular season. Yankees defeated the Royals 3-1 in the ALDS. Defeated the Guardians 4-1 in the ALCS. And every single game that the Yankees played in the postseason, they did not win a single game by more than 3 runs. But they also did not lose a game by more than 3 runs. So they played
pretty damn good.
And while their regular season records may make it seem like an odd World Series, no team won 100 games this year. So these are the 2 best teams. These are the 2 best teams that we've seen this year. I guess
that shows how much more competitive the MLB was. I mean, not by a far, but like it's a little bit more competitive at least. You know, everyone's in the thick of it. I was shocked that the NL, is it the NL? The Diamondbacks are in?
Yeah.
That the NL was so competitive, the Diamondbacks were left out.
Yeah, no, the Diamondbacks, I think we've gone over this before, but the Diamondbacks scored the most runs in baseball this season. I'll look it up real quick. I think it was
the Diamondbacks were the best batting, and the Mariners were the best pitching. You know what's crazy about that?
Neither team made the playoffs.
I'm still salty about that, everybody, because we won't spend money on hitters. But I'll get over it.
Yeah, hold on. It's taking me a bit to find it. Okay, so the Arizona Diamondbacks scored the most runs in baseball with 886 runs scored in the regular season, and the Seattle Mariners had the least runs allowed at 607. Neither team made the playoffs.
Nope. Neither team made either playoffs. Nope.
Yeah, so, anyways, I want to talk about kind of what my predictions for the World Series are going to be. I do think it's going to go to 7 games. And I think it's postseason baseball. It's going to go 7 games. And it's the 2 best teams in the league. Like, come on.
I think it'll go to 6.
6?
Max
6?
I think the Yankees are going to come out with a huge lead. Because, I mean, as good as Ohtani is, as much as I hate the man, as good as he is...
Wait, you hate him?
Don't question me.
I mean, he's good.
I hate him because of how much Fox has hyped him up. I don't hate him for him being a person. I hate him because it's the same kind of thing with Mahomes.
Okay, that's fair. He's a good player.
He's a good guy, it seems like. It's just that the people who hype him up piss me off. That's pretty much the entire gist of it. But I think the Yankees hitting is so good, you could only keep them out of it for so long. And we saw that with the Guardians in the final game. You know, Juan Soto he's incredible in the clutch.
Yeah, no, it seemed like it's those last 2 games. It seemed like the Guardians were gonna pull through late and win, and then the Yankees just in the 9th inning just.
The Yankees are so good in the 9th inning. They're like the Mets, but with more explosive firepower. Because you know what's coming.
They just blew it open, and there's nothing that anybody can do about that.
Those 3 runs in the final inning of that last Guardians versus Yankees game, I was watching it. You just had to be there. Yeah. This is why I wanted desperately so bad for the Mariners to go out and sign him. He is someone who can turn around your whole game. It's because the Mariners, they kept finding themselves in situations. They were down by 1 run in the final couple innings, and they just could not get it done.
They could not get there. They could go in a situation like that and not allow a hit for the rest of the game, but the offense just won't pull through, and they still get the loss.
And when you have a guy like Juan Soto on the team that is known for the clutch ability, known for turning games around in the final couple innings, which, again, we saw that in the Guardians series a couple times. It is somebody who can make or break your season. And I believe I will put this on air. Mariners get Juan Soto. I think they win the AL West. If they keep that pitching core. Swear to God, you lose George Kirby, I'm going to be pissed.
Well, George Kirby...
They're far apart on discussions right now from what I read last.
All of our pitchers are under contract. At least our starters are under contract for a couple more years at least.
No, like they want to re-sign him, is what I mean.
Gotcha.
And they're far apart.
Yeah.
So we got 2 years.
He's only been with us 2 years. So
again, hopefully we can get Soto. But no.
No, he's gonna stay a Yankee.
He's probably gonna stay.
He's gonna stay a Yankee.
I can pray to God he comes back. He comes to Seattle, but for some reason careers die in Seattle. We are Detroit.
Yeah, you can get a great guy like actually Randy Arozarena, Victor Robles. They haven't looked terrible in Seattle right now, but both have seen a World Series. One has won a World Series. It's our ballpark. Our ballpark is the most pitcher friendly in the country. You cannot hit at T-Mobile Park, and that affects the Mariners more than it affects anybody else, considering they play half their games there.
Thing is, I believe that when did T-Mobile Park open up again?
It was sometime in the 90s. It used to be called
Here's a point I can make. If it's so pitcher friendly, remember 2001? Exactly.
No, because I wasn't alive.
Okay, well, you know what I mean. 2001, we were hitting all those hits. Ichiro. So there's no excuse for us not to be hitting those pitches.
That's true.
There's no excuse then, because if we were putting up that many points back then, even if the game has gotten different, it's still relatively the same. You should still be able to hit the ball.
Yeah. Also, I just looked it up. It opened in July of 1999.
Exactly. So you could do it. Just choose not to.
I don't know. I watched a YouTube video on this. I forget who it was by, but if I remember, I'll be sure to shout him out. But they made a video on how not just the Mariners, but just teams in general, they looked at league-wide batting stats at T-Mobile Park. It's like 200. So nobody can hit. League batting average at T-Mobile Park is 200.
Our pitching is just that good, and our batting is just that atrocious.
That could be it too. But if you look at the All-Star game that was in Seattle, 2023. Yeah, the All-Star game in Seattle 2023 was a super low-scoring All-Star game. It was like 3-2 because players cannot hit in that park.
Damn, maybe it is, maybe it is.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I just want to hit the baseball. Is that too much to ask?
Well, I can only hope that Edgar Martinez stays our hitting coach for, I don't know.
Get him out. Get him out.
He took over. He took over in the last bit of the season.
We
right?
still weren't that good.
We won 61% of our last games. I don't think you're looking at this in the way you should.
No, I'm just looking at it as bruh.
Yeah. Okay. So the hirings of Dan Willson and Edgar Martinez did help change our season in the end for the better, but it wasn't enough because the collapse happened so late. It happened far enough into the season that we just weren't able to recover from it.
I keep seeing that graphic. I keep seeing the graphic pop up. 10 games up on the division in July.
Hey, you know what team also just blew a big division lead?
Don't remind me before I cry on air. Speaking of the NFL, I think we should move on to that.
I think we should move on to that. We can come back to baseball later if we feel
the Chiefs remain 6-0. I don't understand how this dark magic keeps happening, but it keeps happening.
All right, dark magic is crazy.
It is dark magic, and you won't tell me otherwise.
All right. You know, this is actually the first time that Mahomes has been 6-0 in his career.
Yes, I didn't know.
And let me tell you, you know about the undefeated curse, right?
There's an
undefeated team's curse. The last remaining undefeated team either fails to make the playoffs or the Super Bowl.
Patriots.
So,
Patriots.
it's something about falling short in the postseason. So
They usually lose the Super Bowl or don't make the playoffs.
The last team to be the last remaining undefeated team and win the Super Bowl was the 03 Colts. Or it might have been the 06 Colts. I don't know.
I think it was because it wasn't 09.
Whatever year the Colts won the Super Bowl that wasn't with Peyton Manning, that was the...
Without Peyton Manning. I don't remember that.
Peyton Manning started a Colt. He started as a Colt. He did not start a... Yeah. I worded that terribly.
What? You got me so confused.
It was the 06 Colts.
Nah, that makes sense. Yeah, of course it's that.
Against the Chicago Bears.
I bet the Colts missed that time frame with Anthony Richardson on the sideline. You know how bad he's been?
I kind of feel bad for the man because everybody was hyping him up, and now he's... I don't know if it's the injuries that have got him playing terribly, or he's really just not good.
Here's his stats for the season, okay? 700. This is for all the games. 783 yards, 3 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and a 60% passer rating.
Okay, yeah. So the six interceptions, 700 passing yards for someone that new isn't terrible. But then you got to remember that.
Brother, it's his second year. Look at C.J. Stroud. Jaden Daniels is better than him.
Jaden Daniels is better than C.J. Stroud. Mark, as of right now, according to ESPN Fantasy Football, Jaden Daniels is better than C.J. Stroud.
I feel like Anthony Richardson was placed in a horrible situation. I really do.
No, he was, because the Colts didn't have a starting quarterback. They threw him into a situation similar to Bryce Young's situation. They threw him into a team that didn't have a starting quarterback. They were like, all right, you've got what it takes. You can go out there and do this. And he hasn't had time to develop. Neither did Bryce Young. So neither of them are going to be playing good because they didn't get time to sit and watch under an older, more experienced figure.
The thing is, even with that, though, I mean, I really don't know what to say because he showed he was somebody who wasn't really that grand in college. He had one great season, and even then it was like 13 games only.
Yeah, because
the dude wasn't someone who deserved to be drafted 4th overall, in my opinion. Sure, there was upside, but he's someone who should have been a second round pick, in my opinion. What did you find?
The 2022 Florida Gators, which is Anthony Richardson's draft class, 6-7.
Oh my God.
So, I mean, I guess you don't have to be on a good team. You just have to play good.
Well, true. Look at Caleb Williams in his final year.
He's
playing really damn good right now. Really good football. I don't care if it's just against bad teams. Now he's playing some really, really good football.
I think against Washington on Sunday is going to be a really good test for him.
That's a must-watch game, and I'm going to be at work.
That's a really... Oh, I am too.
I'm going to want to cry. You know, I had to... At work, I had to watch the game, while picking orders for online orders. Boss walks over. I'm like, let's go! He's like, what happened? Oh, nothing. Because it was when the Lions kicked that field goal. I was, rooting for him.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a good game, and you missed it.
I was at work. Okay.
Bro was swimming with the fishes instead of watching the kitty cats.
But yeah, this Sunday, that needs to be a primetime game.
It will be.
I know, but...
Giants and Broncos.
It's Giants and Steelers.
Oh, whatever. Giants and Steelers.
No, they need to flex that game out and put Washington, Chicago in. That's gonna be a major test for both teams.
They will not flex it. Let's be real.
Neither Chicago or Washington has beat a team with a winning record yet. So,
dude,
one of them's going to because both have a winning record currently.
That could be sick. I think Jaden Daniels wins.
I think he does too.
I think 31-10.
It's Jaden Daniels and the command. Actually, Jaden Daniels may not play, but it's the explosive Washington offense which feels super weird to say. The explosive Washington offense at home against Chicago.
I mean, Marcus Mariota lit up the fucking... Actually, I think the Commanders might win with more points.
I think the Commanders are going to win. I feel like it's going to be closer than you're saying. I think it's going to be like 37-33.
Yeah, I was about to say real quick, I think it'll change my score. I think it's going to be 31-28 final score. Marcus Mariota's going to have a couple picks. It's going to lead some defensive plays.
The Bears' defense is good.
Bears' defense
Don't
is
get
good.
me wrong.
That's why I have them in fantasy. That's why I said they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I think the Bears aren't going to win this one. It's very close. If Jaden Daniels plays, I think 38-28. Because he's always a one touchdown difference of his legs. Marcus Mariota doesn't have that explosive factor like he used to in that kind of regard.
Yeah.
I wanna talk about another thing. CJ Stroud's been incredibly disappointing this season.
I wouldn't say
Compared
that.
to the hype he was getting, he's not doing horrible. He's just not as good as we were hyping him up to be, is what I mean.
His team is doing really good though.
His team they're 5-2.
They're 5-2.
Right now, here's his stats: 1,663 yards, 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, with a 94.9 passer rating. Now,
so it's not the worst.
It's not bad, but the way we were hyping him up, we were like, he's gonna have 3,000 yards by week 10, and he's gonna have 20 touchdowns and 1 interception. That's how a lot of people were hyping him up, especially Texan fans, and it's made the narrative around him like as if he's a disappointment this season, and he kind of is, but he really isn't. For the expectations you put on him, yes, he is disappointing, but realistically, not even Mahomes is going to reach that stat. Not Josh Allen. Lamar's not reaching that stat. At 3,000 yards by week what? What week is it? Week 8?
We're going in. Week 8 starts tonight with Thursday Night Football.
Lamar Jackson has 1,600 yards. My glorious
Passing?
king, Geno Smith, has 1,700 yards.
How is Geno first in passing?
I don't understand. Geno shouldn't be MVP. Get him out of that conversation. It should be not Sam Darnold. It should be Jared Goff.
Watch the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl and you take back that statement.
I will take back that statement. If the Seahawks go to the Super Bowl, I swear. Imagine paying $11,000 just to go see your team in the Super Bowl.
I see. There's a thing called TV and it's free.
Yes, because brother, I'm not paying $11,000.
Especially to go to New Orleans.
Somebody is selling on Instagram. A guy I trust, a NorbCam. He's selling a $150 ticket for the Bills Seahawks game.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that because I trust the guy too because he seems like just a genuine fan who wants to spend time with people. But I'm at work, so I can't go.
I would have done it, but I don't have the money. See, tuition's expensive. And food and living is expensive.
Here's the thing. I would have done it, but I have a couple things I'm going through right now. One is I have a car.
No car.
I have a car that needs to be fixed before I can drive it again. And 2, I work on Sundays.
Like I said, no car.
All right.
But, yeah, I don't even have the money yet for the Packer game. I mean, I'm going to have it by the end of November, but right now the prices, they're going up again.
Shoot.
I can look to see how much they are currently.
With the situation I'm in, may not have it as originally planned, which is unfortunate.
I'm planning to go. I'm going somehow.
I know you're still planning on going. Me, on the other hand,
I think we'll make it. We'll figure it out. On the other right side, you don't have to pay for a parking spot.
Haha.
Or gas.
All right.
Oh, they're lower. They're a lot lower. I was wrong. They're now, they were originally $250. They're now $199.
Oh wow, $50 price difference.
That is actually quite a bit for this. So now instead of it being $500, it's like $450. We might be able to do it by then.
Not bad.
Depending on our record, if we're like 5 and 6, brother.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be week 15, so we'll have played 14 games.
And the view isn't even that bad. Like, you can't see it, people at home, but
the seats.
That's not that bad. That's about where my dad sat with me when we went to the Eagles game.
That's actually, that's pretty good. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about the divisional standings. NFC West looking wide open.
Wide the hell
wide open. Not because all teams are good, but because all teams all teams are really bad this year.
You know it's bad when the Cardinals are a contender for the division.
Yeah, well, the Cardinals, if we lose and the Cardinals win next week, the Cardinals take first in the division because they have the better divisional record.
If the Niners don't win.
No, the Cardinals would.
Right, they're not.
The Cardinals,
how are the Cardinals second or third in the division?
They're 2-0 divisional record. Niners are 1-2. We're 0-1.
Wow.
So
Why
if we
can't
lose,
we just be a normal team?
So if we lose and the Cowboys and Cardinals both pick up wins, we fall to third.
Well, I'm thinking that might be likely.
I'm thinking that might happen
Because Mr. Joshy Allen is coming to Seattle to rub his energy all over the Seattle Seahawks stadium. Let's put it that way.
Speaking of Josh Allen, he is the only starting quarterback to have not thrown an interception yet this season.
The dude is good.
And he led the league in interceptions last year. So something happened during that offseason, which
he saw all the hate comments.
But yeah, Buffalo.
We have breaking news from the NFL.
Oh, what happened?
It's not like trade and stuff, but Josh Reynolds, Broncos wide receiver, has been shot twice.
Uh-oh.
There's no update on it, but the dude's in critical condition apparently. Wow.
All right then.
Yeah, not the brightest of news, but news to talk about.
Well, prayers up for him. Hope he gets better soon. Honestly, not really sure
what to say about that. But yeah, prayers up for him.
Yeah.
Here's another thing we should talk about, because this was something you listed. Oh my God, the injuries. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, both out for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Who hurt the football gods? Because somebody hurt them, and they're hurting players as a result of it.
You're pissed. I don't know who did it. I somewhatly blame Russell Wilson, but I don't. Someone has made them upset. Actually, wouldn't it be the 49ers, because they're the most injured team right now?
The 49ers and the Rams are the two most
They
injured teams.
They angered the football gods.
Except Puka Nakua's coming back.
Oh, yeah, he's back, right.
So, we're cooked.
Who do the Rams face?
They face the Vikings tonight, and then they face us, and then they face us in Seattle for Week 9.
I'm not worried about the Rams, honestly.
I don't trust us right now. I'm worried about them.
We're very inconsistent. Urinating Tree, a guy that's on YouTube who talks a lot of shit about teams. Sorry for the language, just what he does. He said maybe it takes yelling at the Seahawks to get them to do something, because they're so inconsistent. They only work when you yell at them.
No, that's a fair assessment.
He yelled at them in the video beforehand, and then they played like a good juggernaut team against Atlanta. 34-10 is insane.
34-14.
Whatever, it's still insane.
Especially after your offense is struggling to put up 30 points all year, and then you just go into Atlanta and drop 30 on Kirk Cousins.
If we beat Buffalo, there might need to be some discussion about, oh my God, we might be legit. When we get rest.
This is a heavy if, though.
If we go in, if Buffalo comes in and we beat them, even if it's close, we beat them relatively injury-free and mistake-free, the Seahawks might be a legitimate contender, and that will be a topic we talk about next Thursday.
The Bills game is going to be a huge, huge test for us.
It really is, because if we can beat the Bills, or at least make it close, we might be an actual contender.
I know we've said this about a couple games already this year, but
this is the one.
This is the game where if you are somehow able to walk away with a win
or close loss,
buy the Super Bowl. No, I'm kidding. Buy the Super Bowl tickets,
because the NFC is wide open right now,
especially the West,
especially the wild card spots in the West. And if that's the case, even if we lose this game, it is still very possible for us to win the division, and it is very possible for us when we're in the playoffs to make a run. That defense, if it can just play like it did in Atlanta, back in Seattle against the Buffalo Bills team, if it can do that against other teams, hell, we might make a deep run.
Yeah.
Because again, NFC wide open. Who's gonna stop? Oh no, it's not. Forgot about the NFC North.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into the NFC North in a bit, but the NFC West, I believe, will come down to the last game of the season.
The current NFL playoff picture is insane.
All right, yeah. So let's go into the NFC North, because what is going on there? If you aren't looking at a playoff picture, I think Charles is trying to pull one up. But
I'm really trying.
As of how it sits, if the season ended today, every single NFC North team would be in the playoffs. Because the NFC North is just that good this year.
Here's how the NFC playoff picture would work. Detroit gets a first-round bye. Washington will face Chicago. Into Washington. Seattle will host the Packers. Atlanta will host Minnesota. These are all rivalry games. Kirk Cousins' old team in Minnesota. The Commanders and the Bears, number 1 and number 2 pick in the draft. Seattle and the Packers go way back in terms of rivalry.
2014
yeah,
NFC
go way
Championship.
Back. And then let's assume all the NFC North teams win. You got Chicago and Detroit. Then you got the Packers in Minnesota. Even more toxic matchups. Then let's assume the Lions and the Packers win. Then you got another toxic matchup.
You've got,
dude. Honestly, I might want to see that. Like the drama that would ensue. I need to see Bears versus Packers in the playoffs.
Oh my.
And Vikings Lions.
Bears Packers is already a huge rivalry, but in the playoffs,
that would be the most. It would be the most entertaining playoffs the NFC has produced in years.
Which is saying something, because the NFC is usually a cakewalk for the team. The team that wants to get to the Super Bowl for the NFC usually has a much easier time than the AFC.
Oh, not this year. Not with the NFC North.
Oh, yeah,
unless the Bears just collapse, and then we know.
Which could happen.
The AFC, the Chiefs have a bye undefeated. The Texans would host the Broncos. The Ravens would host the Colts, and the Bills would host the Steelers.
And this is all if it ended the season.
And the Steelers are riding along.
Somehow.
I know we keep switching topics very quickly, but there's so much to cover that it's so fun. Man, it's fun to see Russell Wilson be Russell Wilson again. I felt like a father watching his child be good again. Or his child pass a math class. Brother, it's been years since Russ had a game like that.
He was not the problem in Denver. He was not the problem in Denver.
Sean Payton
I feel happy about that.
Maybe it was just like a toxic relationship, and now that they're both separate, they're doing better. But you know what would be the most toxic AFC Championship matchup? Broncos Steelers.
No, because I find it hilarious that after Russell Wilson leaves the Broncos and goes to the Steelers, both teams are just good.
Much better.
They're good.
I don't know about the Broncos being good, but the Steelers are freaking great.
Broncos, I think, could be a wild card.
I can see the Steelers right now. My opinion, minus the dark magic, I could see the Steelers upsetting the Chiefs. I could see the Steelers upsetting the Ravens. I could see the Steelers beating the Texans. This is all assuming Russ plays like he did plays like he did on Sunday night, consistently from this point on. If he plays like Seattle form like he did, I could see the Steelers making it to the Super Bowl. I believe that wholeheartedly. You can quote me on air. I believe the Steelers could go to the Super Bowl and even win it. And Russ gets his long-awaited ring.
His second ring.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That Super Bowl 49 shit. I wholeheartedly believe the Steelers are contenders if Russ plays like he does. Because that was just incredible. I watched that game.
That was
Dude, it gave me flashbacks. The moon balls to George Pickens. George Pickens is, holy crap, he is good. Oh my God.
Did you see, I think it was in the third quarter, where Russ, he threw a dime 40 yards downfield. It bounced off the Jets defender and landed right in the hands of George Pickens.
Oh my God. Bro, I fangirled. It was so good. I was like, it was so good. Dude, that connection reminds me, you know who it reminds me a lot of for his connection? It reminds me a lot of Russ to Lockett back in the Seattle days. Yeah. Because remember, he used to throw 3rd and 1, moonball to Lockett.
And
oh
it worked.
God,
And it worked.
That reminds me a lot of that Viking game from 2020. 3 4th down conversions to win the game.
Oh, yeah.
My God. This team... Man, this is just becoming about the Seahawks again. But, yeah, if Russ can play like he did, I could seriously, when we get to playoff time and we make our brackets, Steelers are there and Russ has played like he has all season, I will have the Steelers coming out of the AFC, and you can quote me on that. Now,
right.
if Russ starts playing like absolute garbage, they are not making the playoffs.
All right, I'm going to say this on air, so you guys can quote me. If the Steelers even just make it to the Super Bowl, I will buy a Russell Wilson Steelers jersey.
I will too. And we'll wear it around campus with clown masks.
Absolutely.
We'll wear clown wigs with makeup too.
Yes.
My God, we got to clip this and put it on YouTube.
You know, we kind of forgot to actually talk about the AFC North besides them all being in the playoffs. Yeah, so how the NFC North currently stands is the Lions currently leading the division at 5-1. The Vikings are in second, also at 5-1, but the Lions have the tiebreaker because they just beat them. The Packers are third in the division at 5-2, and then the Bears are fourth at 4-2. So they're all looking really good, like good teams this year.
Like, if anybody who's listening or has watched that Vikings-Lions game, I think I mentioned it at the start of the show, that game, even though the Vikings lost, they're definitely the real deal. And the Lions are also,
the Lions are also the real deal. Like,
Jared Goff, Willy Wonka Goff is so good. Bro is just dragging across the stadium, bro. He's just that good. I don't know what they did to him in Detroit. Bro, if I'm the Rams, I'm like, damn it.
Here's what happened. The Rams traded him to Detroit because they knew his career was going to die in Detroit. He took that personally and has started balling out ever since.
Yep. Because also, Peyton Manning had this like commercial. I think I sent this to you. But there was this commercial where they were supposed to break a curse by filling a bathtub with whiskey. And ever since that commercial era, the Lions are 22-8.
Wow.
Yeah. The Lions are 22-8. And have 2 playoff wins, a trip to the NFC title game, and a division crown.
Yeah. It's Dan Campbell, Jared Goff.
I want Peyton Manning to come to T-Mobile Park.
Peyton Manning?
I want him to come to T-Mobile Park and fill a bathtub up with whiskey right now.
Oh, yeah. No,
right now.
Now I know what you mean.
I will pay for the flight.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about in football before we move on to hockey? Or
yeah, let's go on to your domain, brother. Hockey.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'm the best in this domain, but we can talk about it. All right, so the NHL season, we're now 2 weeks into it. Week 3 started with Frozen Frenzy on Tuesday, which, if for those of you guys that don't know, it's when all 32 teams play in one night, and every single game starts 15 minutes after each other. So,
oh my God!
by the time the last game starts, you got all 32 teams going on at once.
That's 48 different games in the week for hockey. Yeah.
Seattle Kraken, after tough loss to the Colorado Avalanche, they're still sitting at 4-3-0. They will face the Winnipeg Jets tonight at 7 p.m. in Seattle. Winnipeg Jets currently sitting at 6-0-0. However, the Calgary Flames, when the Kraken faced them, were 4-0-0 and walked out 4-0-1. So the Kraken did hand the Calgary Flames their first loss of the season, meaning very well they could hand the Jets their first loss of the season too. Especially with Joey Daccord in net. Let's see. Yeah, Joey Daccord is. He's classified as a backup goalie. However, he has a better record in net than our starting goalie does this year. Philip Grubauer 1-3-0 in net. Joey Daccord undefeated 3-0-0. And we no longer have 2 winless teams. Now we're just at 1. The San Jose Sharks are sitting winless at 0-5-2, and the Jets are the lone unbeaten team at 6-0-0. Current division leaders, the Florida Panthers are leading the Atlantic 4-3-1. The New York Rangers lead the Metropolitan 5-0-1. Winnipeg Jets lead the Central 6-0-0, and then the Calgary Flames lead the Pacific 5-0-1. So, from what I'm seeing, the Atlantic Division, as of right now, appears to be wide open, while actually, I guess it's early enough in the season that all of the divisions are kind of wide open. But, Yeah. Yeah, there's not much else to talk about in the world of hockey because kind of just started. Oh, I'll talk about the Predators for a second. Nashville Predators. They were 0-5 during I will say, I called this. There's a sports app I use, Real. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's probably one of the
I've heard of it.
Real, one of the greatest sports app, if not the greatest sports app out there. I was making my picks for Frozen Frenzy, and I had this really, really strong feeling that Nashville was gonna beat Boston, and yeah, they won 4-0. Because I don't know what was telling me that, but something told me to pick Nashville over Boston. I did, and it's probably the pick that I'm proud to have gotten the most.
Proud.
It's probably the pick that I am most proud of.
Bro knows game.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, NHL. 2 weeks into the season, we still can't really say a whole lot about a lot of teams, but maybe when we start getting to when we're 2 months into the season, then we can start making assumptions, maybe some more playoff predictions. But for now, we can switch it over and talk about basketball real quick.
Another one that's your domain. I don't really watch basketball either.
Well, I don't really watch it. I just kind of pay attention to the scores. But NBA season tipped off on Tuesday, so we'll just start paying attention a little bit to that. Kind of hard though when we don't have a team here in Seattle.
Yep, that's exactly why I don't pay attention.
But they are supposed to. The league said that they are supposed to come together and discuss expansion at some point during this season.
They said the fall.
So it'll be soon. Season tipped off on Tuesday. 6 teams have still yet to play because the NBA does their season opener really weird. Oklahoma City, Denver, Washington, Sacramento, San Antonio, and Dallas have still all yet to play. I believe all 6 of those teams do play tonight. But so, yeah, not much else to say in the world of basketball either.
They did say, also, just for those wondering, the earliest Seattle would have its first tip-off of NBA in a long time, 2030 would be the earliest.
I heard it was 2027.
I heard 2030 because they have to build a new arena.
No, they're good. Why would they?
I've heard discussions about the obvious choice, which hopefully they would do, Climate Pledge, and then I've heard discussions about wanting a whole separate arena.
No, they're not gonna.
They better not want a whole separate arena. We built one that was specifically for the Sonics that they came back in hockey.
Yeah. Well, they're not gonna get a new arena. They're gonna play in Climate Pledge. They already have a basketball team, so we know that the arena can support basketball. They have the Storm, and then they have the Kraken, and then they could have a third team, the Sonics.
Yeah. Or they can play at Lumen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it in the world of basketball. Let's go ahead and finish with some college football.
Well.
We'll let Charles take it over.
How are my Oregon Ducks? From the person that said there was no shot they were gonna go number 1. My Ducks are number 1 in the country, baby. How's your Huskies doing? That's right. Texas got exposed, and we exposed Purdue. I knew this was coming.
Okay, well, you didn't really expose Purdue. Purdue sucks.
Regardless, number 1 in college football. God, it's great. I cannot wait for the Ducks to win the national championship this year and for this person here to wear a Ducks jersey.
Okay, you know what? They win the national championship, which I still strongly believe that they're not going to do. I will dress up as the Oregon Duck for a week.
Yeah, the Oregon Duck mascot.
I will dress up as the Oregon Duck.
Listen,
for a week.
I'm quoting him on that, and I'm going to make him buy the costume. Bro's going to walk around like a duck, y'all, on campus.
I'm so confident that Oregon... I'm pretty confident they're going to win the Big Ten, actually. They have a really realistic shot of winning it in their first season. I don't think that they're going to win the national championship, and if they do, I will dress up as the Oregon Duck.
That's right. You're going to be waddling around campus, sir. Gonna be waddling around
I will
campus.
go be the new Oregon Duck if they win the national championship.
The new Oregon Duck. Sir, you're gonna be waddling around campus with the pitter-patter of duck feet. I cannot. Another thing about we should talk about. I think we're done. I've done my rant now about the Ducks. What the hell happened to the Longhorns? I didn't watch it, but like I looked at school. What happened?
Georgia happened.
All right.
Georgia took a 23-0 lead at halftime.
Oh my God.
And then Texas did outscore Georgia in the second half, but
that didn't really matter.
It didn't really
sound
matter.
Of it.
They outscored them 15-7 in the second
I thought
half.
Quinn Ewers was playing great. What happened?
He wasn't playing great, and they put in Arch Manning, and
he didn't play much better.
He didn't play much better, but he actually got them points.
Isn't Arch Manning a senior?
I think so.
Brother, who's he gonna draft? Who's gonna draft him?
Arch Manning, let me look it up. He's either a junior or a senior.
If he's a junior, that makes sense. If he's a senior, who's gonna draft him? When you got Quinn Ewers there. To me, Ewers is the bigger upside currently.
He's a freshman.
Brother.
I'm so serious. He's a freshman.
Okay, well he's got plenty of time then.
Yeah, he's the third generation of Mannings to play in the SEC.
Honestly, let's move him to Michigan.
No. All right, so let's go over the Oregon Ducks remaining schedule because they look.
Ducks.
I hate saying this, but they look unbeatable, and their remaining schedule is very, very much winnable. At home versus Illinois, then you're in Michigan.
Yep.
At home versus Maryland, then you're in Wisconsin, and then you're at home versus Washington.
I think the only people, and I hate saying this, the only people that are going to probably have a shot of beating us are the Huskies. Every year. Every single year.
3 games in a row have been won by 3 points.
Every single year with this damn team.
I think it was in like 2016 there's something that the Huskies dropped 70 in Oregon.
Oh my God. It won't happen this year. It won't happen. We're gonna win it.
Huskies are gonna win by a walk-off field goal again.
I
think that would be the funniest way to end the Oregon season.
that would be horrendous. Especially if they're ranked number 1 at that time too. Still.
And yeah, Huskies, they're not getting ranked. So
no, they're not. They are not going anywhere.
And then we can bring up Washington State and Oregon State too, because those are kind of more local teams. Washington State and Oregon State have agreed to play a home and home series in 2025, which basically means that they're going to play each other twice, once at one school, once at the other. So the Pac-2, the Pac-2 will have 2 conference games instead of just 1. OSU's full 2025 schedule has been released. Washington State's is still in the works. They still need 2 more. They still need 2 more games. 2025 OSU schedule: California, Fresno State. Then you're at Texas Tech, at Oregon, versus Houston, at Appalachian State, versus Lafayette, versus Wake Forest, versus Washington State, versus Sam Houston, at Tulsa, and then you end the year on the road at Washington State. And then the 2025 Washington State schedule, personally to me, looks a little bit tougher.
Oh yeah.
Actually, wait, hold on.
Oh.
OSU. I don't think OSU faces an FCS school that year. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't think OSU is going to do very well for a while. They don't have anybody to me that really stands out. Like, their quarterback's not that great, in my opinion. I don't see anybody in that wide receiver room who really stands out. The running back's pretty good. I don't know his name, but he's pretty good. Nobody really stands out on the Oregon State roster to me. There's a reason everybody goes to Oregon.
Yeah.
And not Oregon State.
All right, so Oregon State faces one FCS school, and so does Washington State. So far. Washington State's schedule is partially complete. They're missing 2 games, but I'll read what they have so far. They'll open the season at home against Idaho, then against San Diego State. Then they'll be at North Texas. Then they'll be at home against Washington, which the Apple Cup in September is still such a weird sight, but
that is weird.
It's the reality now. Conference realignment. We're gonna have to live with it. Then they'll be on the road at Virginia, on the road at Ole Miss. That should be a good one.
That should be a good one, a really good one.
At home against Toledo, and then you're at Oregon State, at home against Louisiana Tech, and then you end the year at home against Oregon State. Again, like I said, this isn't the full schedule. They still need to play 2 more games. So whenever that's released, we can go over that.
All right. We haven't talked about this in a little bit. What is the update on Wazoo right now? What is the record? How are they doing? You still think they're going to be undefeated or close to undefeated?
Close to undefeated. I think so. They're sitting at 6-1 right now. The 5 remaining games, I believe, they got Utah State, which is not this Saturday. Utah State is 2 Saturdays from now on November 9th. The one that they have coming up is San Diego State. Let me see. I've looked at all of the games. Very, very winnable.
I could see it. I don't think they're going to be ranked though high enough to really make the playoffs.
They need to win at least 3. They need to win their next 3 in a row if they want to get ranked. And they need to win their last 2 if they want to stay ranked.
Don't you, to get the playoffs now, you just have to be top 25, don't you?
No, it's top 12.
Oh, right.
Well, it's actually, I don't know. It's all of the conference champions, and then I think whatever the highest ranked schools are from there.
Yeah, and I don't really see Wazoo making the college playoffs. Or if they do, I don't think they're going far.
I don't think they can go far either.
I think I could see them losing to a team like Oregon.
Here's the thing. There's no Pac-12 championship this year, so they can't get in that way. They're not officially part of the Mountain West, so they can't play in the Mountain West championship. The only way for them to get in is to essentially win out, and then the committee is like, yeah. The committee would be like, yeah, they belong in this.
Or the committee looked at it as like, no. Yeah. No, actually, NC State belongs to their city.
So they have played, they have San Diego State on Saturday, then another bye week, then Utah State, then at New Mexico, at Oregon State, and then they finish at home against Wyoming. So all those games, very winnable. I still don't understand why Boise State's ranked. I know Wazoo isn't necessarily because they haven't beat a ranked school. The only ranked school they played and lost to was Boise State. However, Boise State hasn't beat a ranked school either. So what's going on there? Explain yourself, committee.
Explain. Explain right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I have my thoughts about the college football committee, and I don't like it.
Yeah, a lot of FSU fans have a lot to say about them too.
Okay. FSU, oh boy.
Oh my
boy.
God.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Get that quarterback out of there.
How do you end a year undefeated? You go 13-0. Okay, technically 13-1 because you were
killed by Georgia.
They said that they were on strike for their last game and they didn't start any of their starters.
What is going on?
They would have lost anyway, but like
what is going on strike do anyway?
I don't know. They were mad that they didn't make the playoffs, so they're just like, we're just not going to show up and play then.
It's your own fault. Your quarterback got injured. What else do you want them to do for you?
And then, so yeah, they end last year 13-1, and they're sitting at 1-6, and probably won't win another game this season.
One of the worst.
The only reason they beat California is because California was jet lagged and had to travel to Florida to play a conference game, by the way. A conference game. And they won by like 2 points. It was nothing that was...
Florida State, my God, bro. If I'm someone who's coming out of high school and have like a lot of talent, Florida State offers me anything. You can go. I want to go to Oregon. I don't want to go there.
I do think, considering how bad Florida State's doing right now, I think it's fantastic that I haven't heard that stupid war chant in a while.
Ooh.
I hate that you just did that. Now it's in my head. But yeah, we haven't heard that
welcome.
stupid war chant in a while. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much it for topics
That's
to cover.
pretty much it for what we wanted to cover.
See, I told
today.
you, we always finish early. Well,
I mean, yeah.
we always finish early.
we always finish early.
We have to come up with more topics, bro. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining us. I am Charles Foreman.
And I am Coleman Fleetwood.
And we will see you next Thursday at 2:20 to 3:20, or 3:10 whenever we decide to end it. And I want to remind everybody you're listening to Luther Student Radio, LASR. And next time we're on air, don't be afraid to call in at 253-535-7755. Again, that's 253-535-7755. And make sure you visit our website at plu.edu/laser. That's LASR. Also, be sure to check out our main Instagram page, Laser Radio. That's LASRRADIO. Also, give me and Coleman's Instagram a check out. It is the_PLU or the_nest_PLU. There we go. And yeah, without further ado, this will be up on YouTube in a little bit, and hope everyone has a great night. Thank you very much.